What's good? What's good? What's good? Hope everybody's having a great Thursday. Um, I had an eventful one so far, but I want to show you guys real quick, give you guys an update on my portfolio. But before we do that, let's go through our daily devotional because we got to stay wise. We got to stay wise. All right, here we go. So, a proper lesson. If your brother or sister sins against you, rebuke them. And if they repent, forgive them. Even if they sin against you 7 times in a day and 7 times come back to you saying, I repent, you must forgive them. Luke chapter 17, verses 3 through 4. Dang. You heard that? Let's read that one more time. If your brother or sister sins against you, rebuke them. And if they repent, forgive them. Even if they sin against you 7 times in a day and 7 times come back to you saying, I repent, you must forgive them. That's Luke chapter 17, verses 3 through 4. Do not reject and cut out people who have acted wrongly towards you. That's not how God treats us. To hurt others back doesn't teach them a lesson. It just cultivates more sin and lovelessness. Let Jesus teach them a lesson instead. As a matter of fact, our joy is a result of God forgiving our sins and being willing to build a relationship with us, even while he knows about the possible disappointments on the way from our side. If you're a follower of Jesus, you're a child of the Father. Do what he does. Live like he lives. That's the best way of teaching someone a lesson because you open the way for God to deal with them. Man, we talk about this in business and life and marriage. It just, man, this is amazing. Every time you're tempted to say, but how can I forgive these people? Think about how God forgives you. Ask him to show you how to forgive. He will gladly teach you. Amen. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, man. Always so enlightening. Cool. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of today. So I closed out on some positions I told you I was gonna do. It's my kids' field day. It's hot as hell. We sweating outside. I just took a shower because it was crazy out there. But in the meantime, I'm looking at the stocks at my portfolio, and I was able to close 2 positions today. If you look at my screen, you'll see that today I no longer have NVIDIA open. NVIDIA, like I said, bro, it went crazy. So I collected about 90% of that premium. And then for hymns, I actually closed that out because it just everything was screaming, get out, start fresh, get a better strike price, be conservative. So I closed it out. I'm not sure if I lost money or if I broke even. I think I broke even, but let's see. Go to close positions. You guys can see I'm at 7,500. Yesterday I was at 67, 6,800. And so I actually made money. Wait, no, I didn't make money from him. So let me see. Oh yeah, I made money. So I believe my hymns position was this one for $98. So I made money on that trade. Didn't think I would. And then the one that I closed was NVIDIA. Wasn't this one. I think it was this one for $663. So all in all, great month. So this month we made $7,500. I'm gonna share this with my mentorship group. So they can see. I wish I could. Maybe I can zoom out. There we go. I can zoom out because I want them to be able to see the whole screen. There you go. Man, I love technology. All right, so these are all my trades for the month. This is exactly how I made $7,500 in 29 days. All right, so there's that. I'm gonna share that with my snowball group and get this done real quick. All right, but I'm loving it. We up. That's closed positions, and then if you look at my open positions, I do have SoFi still open. This $12 put I'm very confident with, so I'm gonna keep that open. I'm gonna go ahead and try to make. Right now, I am at only 19%, but this will be 100% pretty soon. It's not a lot of money. It's 200 some bucks. I'm not too worried about it. And if I get assigned the 1250 put, I'm good. I feel like I'll sell cover calls on that, and I'm happy with it. Now, with that being said, I need to go through my watch list, okay? And this is my watch list, and we can see we need to look at these. So Hims is currently priced at $52, which I'm not mad at him, and the income potential, the premium is insane. So let's look at this real quick, and I'm gonna go to my phone. Let me see if this will let me do it. And I'm going to look at possibly getting into some positions here. But first, I want to look at I'm going to write these down, see what that 20 delta looks like for each of these. Maybe I can do this with ChatGPT, or maybe I can do it. Can you find the current premiums at the 20 delta 30 days out? And what the strike price is and current price of each of these stocks. Let's see if it'll do it, because that'll save me a bunch of time instead of going through my phone. This is why this is why AI has been in freaking sane. I'm gonna use DeepSeek here as well. I use a little bit of everything. Then we're gonna use Grok as well, or Grok as well. Let's see which one gives me the best results. You didn't work. All right, so so ChatGPT can't do it. Man, Grok did it quick. Yeah, Grok is where it's at, bro. You don't even need an investing app when you got Grok. Look at this, bro. Oh my gosh. Which ones also prioritize those that give the highest return? I'm looking for 2% or better. This is so fire, bro. So fire. Yeah, Hims is gonna be number one. Yo, this is amazing. So Grok used all of my requirements, and Hims is gonna give me the best. Look at this, return on capital 4.67%. So we're gonna actually open this trade because I like it. Earlier this morning, I could go to the $40 strike price when I checked, and I could. So what's today? Today is May 29th. So let's go to the 20 delta. Damn, man. It was better this morning. But let's say we go with one contract, and let's ask. Right, we're put. Hold on. I'm trying to sell. Put. Go back to the options chain. Bid sell. July 3rd. 20 delta. is the $44 strike price. If I put 1 and bid, ask 205. Let's go with 4 contracts. $821. And what would 3 be? But 3 contracts, and it's how much a share? $52 a share. 1 contract is what is that? $5,000. So that'd be 15 grand gone. But if I use my calculator, 100 divided by, what was it? 44 times, what was the $2.06? Yeah, that's a great return. I got to do this one. So I'm going to do 4 contracts of this. I'm going to try to get $2.06. All right, order placed. And that one is a $44 strike price. We could have done 45 as well, but we did $44 for HIMS. And that's a 4.6% potential return. Okay, you guys can see I'm writing him down. Or you could see it. Come on, man. Pull up. All right. Oh, that's why I unplugged it. So bear with me. I need a better USB drive so I can keep my iPad plugged in. All right, Robinhood is the next one. They're saying we can get a 2.59% return. All right, let's see. And you know what? I'm an idiot because I didn't even check the charts here. Let's just look at HIMS real quick on the charts. And guys, again, if you don't know this stuff, there's a free course, like literally a free course. If you go into my link, I believe I'm gonna make this live pretty soon, but I've added the course already. No, I didn't add the course, I guess. What in the hell? I just had the course in there. Boss it up. There it is. Let me publish it. View site. There it is. So pretty soon you'll be able to get my daily reports here, and the stock course will be here. Speaking of which, here's the daily, like the pattern, the dip pattern. You guys can see Thursday is usually a continuation, right? Friday is usually a green day. And then over the weekend, it usually comes in negative with a weak open, bounce day. You get what I'm saying? So this is just the high likeliness. It's not a crazy trend, but there's also different levels that you can look at to see if there's a healthy market. And we've been checking this every single day, and it seems healthy, right? The VIX is at 18. The dollar is good. The fear index is, I think it's greedy right now. I'm not 100% sure, but this is all great. Like I check this every day pretty much in my daily reports that I share with you guys. All right, so let's go back here to, where was I? So I did 4 contracts of this. And so that's like $20,000 held up now. All right, Robinhood is next. Tesla looks like a 2.62. I like Tesla. Palantir looks like a 2.5. I like Tesla, but it's such an expensive stock. If I do that, I'll lock up so much money. So we're gonna go with Robinhood. We're not gonna do Tesla. So let's check out what Robinhood could do for me. SoFi. Give me return data for all stocks in my watch list. All right, let's check out Robinhood real quick. Oh, we were looking at Hims on the chart. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not mad at Hims. Hims is definitely it crossed in the RCI. It's definitely more bearish, which is what we want. We want to sell puts on when it's red, but it's still above the 200. It's going closer to the 50, so it could turn around. It's in unknown territory, but it's far away from the Bollinger Band. So it could drop. I don't think it's going to drop to um, below $44, but it could, right? So if we're looking at this, let's look at it closer to the. Let's look at the 1 hour. You guys can see kind of where we're at. 53, 40, 52. It's below the SMA now. Might have been bad time to get in, but we'll see. There's volume here picking up, so was it a month ago? It was at 53, 52. I like 44. I like $44. I like $44. I think it's gonna turn around. What do you guys think? If not, I get assigned at $44. I'm not mad. And then we sell covered calls. I'm not mad at that. All right, I'm good with Hims. Let's look at Hood. Oof. Hood is all the way down to oversold. The 30. We're definitely getting into Hood. It's still above the 200. Lots of volume. I love Hood. All right, we're getting in Hood. We're gonna get in Hood. Now, keep in mind, I know these companies already. I like their financials. Hold on, let's look at the day chart for Hood. Actually, yeah, for the 30 days is at the 70 though. Huh. I mean, the 52-week range, shit, all the way down to $13. But the way the market is right now, it's so bullish. Let's see what kind of price we're looking at here. So if I go to July 3rd, let's check out the 20 Delta. So the price would be $56. Okay, $56, and it's currently how much? 64, let's say. Very small spread there. So strike price at 56, premium's $1.49. 2.66 return. Okay. Let's do this. We're gonna ask for $1.95. Let's see how many. 2. Now we're gonna do, let's see, 4. Yeah, that works. All right, let's collect that premium. We place the order. Done. Let's see if any of these trades actually went through. It's not looking like it. I'm trying to get top dollar. All right, those didn't go through yet. All right, let's go back to. Nvidia's 2%. Excuse me. I feel like Nvidia's easy money though. So look, you can look at my screen right now. You can see none of these stocks, even though I like these companies, are giving a 2% or better return. So we're not going to even go after those. Right now, the ones that have high enough IV to collect cash flow are these. So we'll probably jump in on those and just not do anything for the next 30 days. So let me open this up. Let's see how Tesla looks. Yeah, quiet in the chat, man. All right, so the day chart is showing Tesla's pretty much overbought. It looks like it might be crossing that RSI line, close to the Bollinger Band, red, still above the 200. Some activity there, definitely some activity there. Let's look at the hour. Definitely neutral, bearish, kind of when you want to buy, right? It's at the bottom of the Bollinger, well above the 200. I like it. I like Tesla. Man, it's expensive though. Might just buy like one contract. Let's see. All right, let's go to Tesla. For the month, the low is about 280. About 280 for the month is the low. 250 for the year. Let's see where we're at. Go to July 3rd. I want them all to kind of expire the same day. So let's go to 20 Delta if I could find it. All right, 20 Delta is a $310 strike price. I like that. I like that. 310 bucks. Does Tesla drop under 310 in the next 30 days? I don't think so. And so let's do the math here. 100 divided by 310 times $8.85. Yeah, it's a great return. So let's lock that in real quick. We said the 310 is a 20. Yep. 310. Boom. How many can, let's ask $9. Let's do one. $9. Yeah, I like it. Let's place that order. Done. I probably won't get it. I should go back and see. Cause I don't think I'm gonna get it, man. Oh, Tesla went through. Love it. Love it. We'll collect that. The other two have not gone through. So I'm gonna wait probably 15 minutes. If it doesn't go through, we'll have to do like a mid ask, like a mid price, bid price. Or ask since I'm selling it. Okay. So that's Tesla. And so far, what I'm looking at getting, so HIMS, what was Tesla locked in? And what was the premium? The premium was like 900 bucks. HIMS went through. Great. So HIMS went through. So that one's $866.72 is what I can make there. With Tesla, I can make $925. Okay. And then with Robinhood, I don't have Hood yet. Let's see. No Hood, but for SoFi, I could make 693, 7, 878. Oh no, that's way different. What am I talking about? So 223 plus 693 is 8, 9. I'm just gonna say $1,000. 1K. No. SoFi is $1,000. Okay, if Hood goes through, let's see, what was Hood? Refresh. I still didn't get Hood yet, so we're gonna keep it moving till I do get Hood. But so far, I'm at almost 3K that I can make for the month of June. If none of these get assigned. All right, let's see what's next here. Let's check out Palantir. Let's see what we're doing with Palantir here. Palantir Technology. So this is for the day. It's red, still above the 200. It's about neutral. 1 hour, the RSI, I should say, is about neutral. Let's look at the 1 hour. Oof, oversold. I like Palantir. Let's get in. Let's get into Palantir. And guys, all these trades could be literally duds. I could lose my money on, not lose my money, but I could get assigned all of these shares, and then that's gonna be an ugly month. But it's the risk I'm willing to take. All right, so let's go to July 30. Remember, I'm willing to take this risk because I make good money. So like, this is not make or break. Only invest what you're willing to risk. 23. All right, so that 109 number, this one is Palantir. So that 109, I think I'm going to roll SoFi actually. Is 109, and then the premium is $3.25. So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, oh yeah, that's nice. All right, let's get into Palantir. We said the 109 for 325. 1, and this might be it for me. We're gonna do 3 of those. Now we're gonna do 2. Preview, place order. All right, we did 2 of those. Literally killed all my buying power, and I'm probably overextended at this point. Interesting, no hymns yet. And where is SoFi at right now? I might have to roll SoFi. Nah, man. SoFi is a good buy right now. I like SoFi right now, bro. I like SoFi right now. This is gonna turn around. I feel like. Look at all this volume. It's oversold. It's at the bottom of the Bollinger. I like SoFi right now, bro. Yeah, I think right now would be a good time to buy SoFi. I think it's coming back up. and it's gonna once it crosses this right here, this yellow line, I think it's going to, bro. It's above the 200. I think it's going to, bro. So I think I'm gonna keep my SoFi as is. Let that theta decay work in my favor. And as of right now, if this Palantir trade goes through, that would be another $600. Hood, I forgot what Hood was. Let me see. See y'all. Wait, this is 904. This is okay. Damn, some of these trades might not go through. That's all right. If they don't go through, I'll try again tomorrow. But so far I got Hims, Hood, Tesla, SoFi, Palantir. We'll see how it goes for the month. And I stand to make about $4,000. Where you guys saw, man, this month was way better than that. Part of it is because the first week that I opened most of these, I was profitable, like in the first week. So I was like 80% profit, collected the premium. So I closed those trades, realized those gains, and then I reopened the same puts for different strike prices depending on what was giving me the best return. And that's how I was able to get another, $3,000 this month in profit. So, but $4,000 a month on a $40,000 account isn't. It's very aggressive. It's most people would say it's not sustainable, but we'll see. I might be onto something. Oh, Palantir went through. So that's an extra $690 that I can make there. Good. Palantir went through. So I got Hims, Palantir, SoFi, Tesla. I'm waiting for Hood to go through. I wonder why Hood hasn't gone through yet. I might just close it and just go for it. So if you have an open trade on the Fidelity app, you can go to transactions and go to what was it, trade, I think. And then open orders, you can view all, and you can see, open orders right here. So sell 4 contracts, and then I can replace it. So I can replace it instead of that $1.95 you see there. We can go for, let's try $1.92. And that would be $765 in premium. Let's place the order. All right, so what did it say, 762? Okay, 762. And then let's see. So maybe that'll make it easier to go through. And so as it stands, I got my calculator here. For the month, I stand to make plus 762 plus 905 plus 1,000 plus 690, $4,223. Okay, that's my income for this month. If none of them get assigned. Gotta love it. I love this, man. I love this. And all I'm doing is pay attention to what's going on, to current events, all that good stuff. Passive is, to me, this is, I don't want to say it's passive income. It is the closest in to passive income, bro. I mean, obviously there's cost. It's not going to be perfect, but long term, I gotta get back in the gym. All right. Next subject. Let's take a look at what's going on in the world because I have no clue. You guys saw Trump's reciprocal tariffs got blocked?
International trade to pause its decision blocking the president's tariffs while the White House seeks an appeal. NBC News chief White House correspondent Peter Alexander brings us the details.
Overnight, a federal court slamming the brakes on President Trump's sweeping tariffs.
It's our declaration of economic independence.
The U.S. Court of International Trade ruling that the president does not have the authority to impose those steep tariffs on allies or adversaries. The court, in two separate cases, tossing out the tariffs the president imposed under a nearly 50-year-old emergency economic law that had never been invoked in a situation like this. The suits were filed by small businesses and a dozen states, arguing that President Trump violated the Constitution, which grants Congress, not the president, the authority to set tariffs. The administration already appealing, with a White House spokesperson arguing it is not for unelected judges to decide how to properly address a national emergency. The ruling injecting new uncertainty into the president's on-again, off-again tariffs, with many businesses complaining his chaotic approach has made it impossible to plan their purchases ahead.
Thank you very much.
Hours before the ruling, the president took issue with accusations he's backed down on his tariff threats when asked about a new term reportedly used by some on Wall Street, taco, short for Trump always chickens out.
Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% to then you ask a nasty question like that? It's called negotiation. You set a number. And if you go down, if I set a number at a ridiculous high number and I go down a little bit.
As the president battles the courts, one of his top allies, Elon Musk, confirms he's departing the administration.
No relation.
Thanking
right?
President Trump for the opportunity to reduce wasteful spending while heading up the Department of Government Efficiency, coming just 2 days after Musk criticized President Trump's signature spending bill.
So, I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill.
Musk now faces a new challenge, trying to rehabilitate his image as a visionary entrepreneur after months of fierce.
The media is so annoying, bro. Like this, bro. What the narrative that they paint, bro. If somebody doesn't keep up with this every day, it's insane how they spin all of this.
Fierce political scrutiny.
That was NBC's Peter Alexander with that report. And beyond the appeal, the Trump White House reacting with thinly disguised fury as to what happened here. Stephen Miller calling it a judicial coup. Others saying that this is further evidence of the deep state trying to work against and subvert Trump's agenda, ratcheting up their attacks on the judiciary. So joining us now, we have co-anchor of CNBC Squawk Box and a New York Times columnist, Andrew Ross Sorkin, NBC News senior business correspondent, Christine Romans, co-host of MSNBC's The Weeknight, Simone Sanders Townsend, as well as former MSNBC host Chris Matthews. His new Substack is aptly titled, you'll never get it, Hardball with Chris Matthews.
Look, So I'm not sure. The short-term markets are happy, right? Because no tariffs is good, but some type of tariffs was already priced in. So, so the market's gonna keep going green. This is why I went ahead and I got into to the stocks because everything is looking pretty solid now. All those things could be wiped out. All these small, I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's not like I wouldn't have got in regardless. This is just a cherry on top that they blocked the tariffs. But if they bring the tariffs back, I'm still gonna be good, I think. Nonetheless, Trump is definitely gonna appeal this, right? And so I don't know what that means in the short term, but this video, that they titled is saying that Trump administration is asking the court to pause the ruling.
Also with us, former state attorney for Palm Beach County Dave Ehrenberg. It's a terrific group for a busy news hour, Joe. And certainly there was rage this morning and last night from the White House about this ruling. Also real anger from President Trump there when confronted with that, as Peter Alexander put it, that the taco trade, the idea that him chickening out.
Right.
But as we talked about earlier this morning, you know, there are a few things that you would say Donald Trump has believed in for a long time, that he's been consistent in. But right at the top of the list, tariffs. Those aren't going anywhere if he can help it.
Yeah, and again.
Yeah, so the federal court ruling is effective immediately, but enforcement is likely on hold while the U.S. government appeals, right? So typically in high-profile cases like this, the court may issue a pause on the ruling's enforcement until the appeals process is complete, especially when billions in tariffs are involved. So that's what I think this pause is. It's just part of the appeal process. Obviously, MSNBC isn't reporting it that way.
Again, Wall Street just doesn't get it. I mean, the people that support.
And so, by the way, it usually takes 30 to 60 days for the appeal process, and then a decision in court for these appeals typically takes 6 to 18 months. Man. After the ruling, the losing party may petition the Supreme Court. And so this whole process could be 12 to 30 months. And so businesses can't claim refunds or stop paying tariffs just yet. So there's no, like, everybody's laughing at Trump and stuff, but he can still have his way, especially the more they delay and delay. He can still have his way for another almost 3 years, pretty much the whole entire time he's in office, if I'm understanding this correctly. So yeah, there's nothing really changes here, you know.
Supported Donald.
It is a W for those who don't want tariffs, but I don't know. It's not like as big of a W as it seems from the headlines.
Donald Trump that thought he was just talking during the campaign about tariffs but didn't mean it, don't get it. He's been talking this way since the 1980s. He still believes it. When people say he's backing down, all they're doing is they're basically pushing him towards more tariffs because he believes in them. He believes that tariffs are the best way forward in rebuilding America's manufacturing base. Of course, most economists disagree with him. Most of his supporters on Wall Street disagree with him. He doesn't care. So they're not going away. Dave Ehrenberg, though, I want to start with you with this fascinating ruling last night from this court. Of course, the White House, dead wrong, and also it's just not helpful when they talk about judicial coups. It's not a judicial coup if it's in Article 3, and if this is the way that James Madison and Alexander Hamilton planned it out 240 years ago, and every president since then has had to deal with it. I do want to say this, though, and I'm just curious at first blush what your thought is. When you have this court saying it's Congress's power and not the executive branch's power, so they're saying this is an Article 1 power, not an Article 2 power, and that's coming from an Article 3 power. I don't think that's going to hold up with the Supreme Court, and I don't think it's going to hold up with the Supreme Court because they're going to say, well, yes, it's Congress's power. Congress deferred that power to the president. If they want to fight that and say this is an Article 1 power and they bring the lawsuit, then they'll have standing to claw that power back or to pass legislation doing it. I just don't see a court doing this by themselves. Again, do they have a right to have this ruling? Of course they do under Article 3. Will it hold up under the Supreme Court? I'm very skeptical, again, because Congress has deferred that power for now to the president.
Well, Joe, they haven't explicitly given up their power. Yes, they have self-emasculated. It's embarrassing, and it's up to the judges to restore some checks and balances. But these justices on the conservative side are strict constructionalists, and they know that Congress has the power of the purse, and it's Congress that has the power to tariff. And this statute here, IEEPA, provides some exceptions when there is an unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security, foreign policy, or economic security of the United States. But what is that unusual and extraordinary thread here? Our long-standing trade imbalances? Emergency powers exist to enable a president to respond quickly to a crisis. It's not supposed to be used to deal with long-standing laws and policies you disagree with. If you want to change our laws, you go to Congress. But President Trump doesn't want to do that because he knows he can't get these unpopular tariffs through a narrowly divided House.
But he can do it. That's what the guy is trying to tell you. But he can do it. He doesn't think it's going to stand. And the reason why he's doing it isn't because of personal things. It's because this is what the people voted for. The people voted for Trump. He talked about tariffs his whole campaign. He talked about illegal immigration laws his whole campaign. This is what the people voted for. So he's not doing it just for himself. He's doing it because he got put in office because he said he would get this stuff done. And if he has to do it through, politics, pretty much, then he's going to do it. And obviously going through Congress wouldn't be the traditional way. The slow way isn't the way he wanted to go. He'd rather deal with it this way. And it's probably not going to hold up in Supreme Court. And even if it does, we're going to have 3 years of seeing tariffs in play. And we'll be able to see the results of it. And if it gets shut down again by the Supreme Court, Americans see that tariffs are working, which we don't know if it will. The next election, they might be voting accordingly to, if tariffs work, they're going to vote for tariffs. So, it's politics at the end of the day. Let's listen to the press secretary and their response to the tariff ruling. Hold on one second.
Welcome back. A live look into the briefing room where White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt answers questions from reporters. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand is outside the White House right now, and she joins us now. Natalie, what are the key takeaways from the briefing that you've heard so far?
Hi, Muga. Well, a lot of focus, of course, obviously, is on the major ruling against President Trump's tariff strategy. Caroline Leavitt, in her opening, called it judicial overreach. Of course, this is as the administration tries to appeal that decision. Here's some of what she had to say.
The courts should have no role here. There is a troubling and dangerous trend of unelected judges inserting themselves into the presidential decision-making process. America cannot function if President Trump, or any other president for that matter, has their sensitive diplomatic or trade negotiations railroaded by activist judges. President Trump is in the process of rebalancing America's trading agreements with the entire world, bringing tens of billions of dollars in tariff revenues to our country, and finally ending the United States of America from being ripped off. These judges are threatening to undermine the credibility of the United States on the world stage.
Now, notably, one of the judges on that 3-judge panel that made the ruling late last night was appointed by President Trump in his first term. The judges in that ruling said that the president overstepped his authority when imposing the sweeping tariffs through the Economic Emergency Powers Act. Of course, all of this is going to now continue to play out in the courts as the administration appeals. Now, Leavitt was also asked about new reports of progress on a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. Here's what she had to say about that.
Israeli media is reporting that Prime Minister Netanyahu told hostage families that he's accepted a 60-day truce offer. So can you confirm, have Israel and Hamas agreed to a truce?
I can confirm that Special Envoy Witkoff and the president submitted a ceasefire proposal to Hamas that Israel backed and supported. Israel signed off on this proposal before it was sent to Hamas. I can also confirm that those discussions are continuing, and we hope that a ceasefire in Gaza will take place so we can return all of the hostages home, and that's been a priority from this administration from the beginning. I won't comment further as we are in the midst of this right now.
So to be clear,
So again, Leavitt confirming that Israel has signed off on the proposal. She's still waiting to hear whether Hamas will sign off, but that is a developing story that we will continue to follow. Now, CBS's Weijia Jiang, also in that briefing, she asked Leavitt about her response to Elon Musk's recent criticism in an interview with CBS Sunday Morning about the Republican tax cut and spending bill that, as we know, is a huge legislative priority for President Trump. It just narrowly passed the House 1 week ago. But in an interview with CBS, Musk saying it doesn't do enough to make cuts to the deficit, which of course was one of his major goals with the Department of Government Efficiency. Levitt did not give a long answer there, but essentially defended the bill. Also noted that Musk's time in his official capacity as a special government employee has come to an end. That was a scheduled departure because of the rules surrounding how much time Musk can serve in that role as a special government employee. But she says that, the president thanked him for his work and that the mission of Doge will continue. Mugo.
Okay, Natalie Brand live from the...
All right, man. There it is. There it is. It's a nothing burger. Another nothing burger. Another nothing burger. People were asking me what my thoughts were about the whole tariff thing. And, I still got to listen to some more stuff. Actually, let's see what Mr. Magnificent has to say.
Not for unelected judges to decide how to address a national emergency. Some now argue the president has lost his biggest leverage on trade talks. Others, like Goldman Sachs, saying not so fast. Trump has plenty of other tools at his disposal. Yeah. Kevin O'Leary, big news. What do you think about this?
3 takeaways. Number one, he does have plenty of tools, and he used them before and in his first term. Other administrations have used them as well. What has been taken away from him is the shock and awe of just picking a specific country and slamming them with 145% tariffs just for the hell of it. That's not going to work anymore. But more importantly for investors and everybody in the market, and if you're spending CapEx in a domestic company, are tariffs as an issue going away? Absolutely not. How long will it take to negotiate them? Much longer, because now you've got to put in place the appeal process and everything else. But while he is doing this, if you're a negotiating country like India or Canada or Mexico or the EU, you're not dropping your team. You're saying, I know Trump's going to keep coming at me with the different tools, so I might as well just keep going down the road. And I think number 3 on the hit parade of what you got to think about is what's the end game? He's got to get this all wrapped up before the midterms and before we start thinking about midterms, because he doesn't want to lose the majority mandate based on tariffs. Markets, they're back to almost all-time highs. So the market is looking forward saying, I think this whole tariff deal is going to end up in some kind of reciprocal 10%-ish range. Yeah. That's what they're kind of saying right now, no matter how the volatility plays out. And every time we get another volatile statement or another tweet out of Trump.
Did I not say this stuff is priced in already? We're kind of okay with tariffs. And did we get a little bump from this news? Sure, but if it's a nothing burger. We know this is still going to be a long process. So everything's already priced in. It's still a journey. And the stock market's still good.
The impact is less. And so the market's made the assumption that he's doing his Trump-ish kind of negotiation and that we're going to get to a 10% or something like that tariff before the midterm.
So let me stay with markets, Taylor, because they popped into the green on the news of the ruling. I think all 3 major indices now are in the red. So
Nasdaq's close.
Does that tell you that
they're
markets
green.
initially thought, okay, this might kind of be the end of the tariff drama, and now they're realizing, to Kevin's point, if the president wants to do more on tariffs, there's a lot more he can do.
Yeah, I think that's certainly one read, right? We always get the initial excitement, and then when you read through the notes that say last night's ruling does not apply to Section 301, the 10% tariffs that Trump imposed on China in 2018-2019. Section 232, the 25% tariffs on autos and auto parts. Section 232, the 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum. And then maybe the upcoming tariffs on semiconductors, pharma, copper, lumber, and ships under Section 232. So you do have certainly some exclusions from that, and maybe the market's trying to digest that.
Yeah, so I'm seeing green on my end, but it's flat. 0.24%, 0.05, 0.16. It's flat. You guys can see here, all these indices are green, but it's flat. It's nothing. It's literally nothing. It's literally nothing. All right. I'm done with the tariff conversation. I think I got an understanding of it. And if I don't, let me know in the comments. I don't care about that. Yo, did you guys see this? Did y'all see this? A professional basketball player facing the death penalty for having cannabis. Bro. Y'all didn't learn from Brittany Griner, bro.
Fed chairs meeting with the president, Megan.
Y'all didn't learn. Look.
This is Jared Shaw from Dallas calling for help as he is being arrested in Indonesia. His face blurred by the police taking the video. The 6'10" Carter High School and then Utah State player went undrafted in 2014, but found success overseas, most recently in the Indonesian Basketball League, until his arrest in Tangerang, Indonesia, just outside Jakarta. Police there paraded him in front of the local media, made him climb onto a press conference stage and stand with his back to the audience while they detailed the charges against him.
This is crazy.
Police say they intercepted a package sent to him by a woman in Thailand. Delta 9 THC candies and gummies worth about $400 that they...
Delta 9 is legal everywhere in the United States. That's not even weed. Can you imagine facing the death penalty for Delta 9, something you can get at the gas station here in America? Facing the death penalty? No, this is worse than Brittany Griner.
They allege he planned to sell and share with other players. Strictly illegal in Indonesia. Possession alone could mean a minimum sentence of 1 year or as much as life in prison. Shaw's family still lives near Carter High School. We reached them today at their home. They did not want to go on camera, but his younger brother told us they are still trying to get more information on his arrest and have been allowed to speak with him by phone. His predicament, however, is similar to that of Texas native Brittany Griner, the WNBA star arrested in Russia in 2022 for carrying medically prescribed hash oil in her luggage, held for 9 months in a Russian prison until she was exchanged for a Russian arms dealer. Jared Shaw's fate is less certain in Indonesia, where even the death penalty can be imposed for large-scale drug trafficking, including marijuana. In Dallas, I'm Kevin Reese.
Damn, bro. Damn, man. Guys, you have to do your research when you go into other countries. And I'm sure he got told. I'm sure he knew the consequences. I would think. Come on, you're not going to Google that? You're not going to ChatGPT that? You can't mess around these other countries. Americans, a lot of times, man, we have this entitled feeling. We think the whole world needs to operate like us. It don't. It don't. Most of the world does not. Most of the world does not operate like America. Y'all don't understand the blessings that we have, the freedom that we have. When I hear people talk about how bad America is, and the stuff that they get away with saying about America that they couldn't get away with saying anywhere else, it blows my mind. It's such a contradiction. It's so hypocritical. You got a guy that's facing the death penalty for Delta 9s, bro. You got murderers here that get out of prison in 10 years. It's insane. But, praying for him, man. He obviously doesn't deserve the... Are you kidding me? And Brittany Griner didn't deserve it either. I can see two wrongs. I can see, hold on, Brittany. That was your fault. It sucks that we gave an arms dealer who's responsible for how many deaths for you. And I get that whole argument, but she don't deserve a decade in prison because she had prescribed hash. Number one. Number two, at the same time, Count your blessings. Have some more respect for the United States of America. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Crazy times. That stuff got to stop, though, man. These people overseas got to stop, bro. Stop doing that. All right. Oh, so remember how I was telling you guys that social trends are really important because you can find investing strategies just based off of this. Something that has caught my attention that's really hot right now is Dubai chocolate. My kids, Dubai chocolate got my kids by a chokehold. And I remember the first time we were at 7-Eleven, bro. And my kids are like, they got Dubai chocolate. And there was only 2 candy bars in there. So we grabbed both of them. Because they were selling them like hotcakes, sold out. So we bought 2 of them. When she rang me up, and that thing said $60-something, and I looked at the receipt, and each of those chocolate bars were $25 each. $50 for 2 Dubai chocolate bars. I was like, what the hell? That's normal? Is something wrong here? That's normal. That's normal. Why is it so expensive? Number one. Number two, is there a play here? Is there a distributor that's a public company that has a contract with Dubai Chocolate? Is there a specific brand that's prominent, that's publicly traded? We need to go through that rabbit hole because that's an investing opportunity. I might go into my kids' Roth IRA right now and buy a bunch of stock if I can find something that's attached to it, whether it's directly or indirectly. Nonetheless, I want to watch this video to see what makes this chocolate so damn expensive. Y'all let me know. Have y'all seen the hype on that? Oh, look at ARM. Yeah, let me write that down, Classics. I know ARM is coming up. That's for sure. ARM is coming up. So I appreciate that. I'm definitely gonna scope that out. But let's check out this Dubai chocolate, and then we'll check out ARM after that. Let's go. Yep, that's it. It's so good, though.
This is a Dubai chocolate bar.
It's so good.
It's a chocolate bar stuffed with a paste of pistachios, karaif, or shredded phyllo dough, and tahini. It first went viral in 2023, and since then, it's become a global phenomenon.
Yeah.
That was worth the hype.
The original by Fix Desserts
good.
is only sold in Dubai. Its scarcity has spurred an explosion of dupes, copycats, and spin-offs. You can now buy it everywhere.
We're a small homegrown brand, and we had enough chocolate just to serve like the community. And all of a sudden, there was thousands and thousands of people starting to follow us and starting to explore and ask us how we can ship internationally, etc.
Brands like Shake Shack, Crumble, Walmart, and Trader Joe's are jumping on the bandwagon too.
Our fans loved it. They lined up around the block and it would sell out within minutes. It was absolutely crazy.
I totally thought that this was just a trend and that it wouldn't go anywhere. As time went on, people were becoming obsessed.
New York City business The Nuts Factory says it was the first in the city to create a version of the viral bar in July 2024. The company originally made hundreds by hand per day. Now they make thousands.
It all started from a pregnancy craving, and all I knew in my head is that I wanted to create this chocolate bar that's essentially a dessert encased in chocolate, but looks and feels like a chocolate bar.
Hamuda and her husband created the bars in 2021 and started selling them in 2022. They didn't have a large marketing budget and relied on social media to spread the word. In December 2023, this video started what became an international sensation. It's now garnered 127 million views.
Instead of getting one order every week, I decided to get 10, 15 orders. And so it was exciting, but it was also oh my God, how is this happening?
The bars drop twice a day on delivery service Deliveroo and are sold periodically at Dubai International Airport's duty-free. In April 2025, over 1.2 million bars were sold, generating $22 million in sales. The shortage has led to price gouging on resale sites like eBay, Some bars are
Damn.
going for upwards of $100. Beyond its unique texture and flavor combination, desire for Dubai chocolate has been largely fueled by social media, but the exclusivity of the original bar has kept that going. Capitalizing on the trend hasn't been difficult from a legal perspective. The name Dubai chocolate can't be trademarked. The United Arab Emirates isn't part of the International Trademark Treaty that would secure its protection. Chocolate giant Lindt developed its own limited edition bar in late 2024.
People were queuing up at 2 o'clock in the night, waiting for the first limited samples. It was scarcity, it was exclusivity, but still we were overwhelmed. Then the next thing, they sold it on eBay for 400, 500 Swiss francs.
Lindt made a permanent version. Now the bar is one of its best-selling items. After testing a Dubai chocolate-inspired milkshake in its Middle Eastern market, Shake Shack brought it to the US in just 4 to 6 weeks.
For us to come up with a full menu with marketing assets and ingredients and supply chain sourcing and operational supporting documents and all of that within a couple weeks was an aggressive timeline. It was certainly one of the fastest development timelines we've ever executed against.
The milkshake sold out within minutes, and Shake Shack's social media posts featuring the products were some of the brand's most successful posts ever. $1 billion business Crumble Cookies is creating a brownie spinoff that they also developed in the same timeframe as Shake Shack. It usually tests its creations on a national scale, but took a risk this time.
We're kind of shooting at the gut here and hoping that this works. The main strategy behind participating in the Dubai chocolate trend was really to be able to jump in and say, Crumble's adaptive, we're innovative. If the people want it, we want to provide it. We never want to look like we're too scared to try something.
So my sister and I got a matcha latte that's supposed to taste like the viral Dubai chocolate bar.
While Starbucks hasn't made an official product, a customer's idea to make a Dubai chocolate-inspired drink at the store boosted sales among Gen Z customers. On April 1st, 2025, Dunkin' launched a Dubai chocolate donut in the Netherlands. It remains to be seen whether the company will bring that to the US. Grocers Target, Walmart, and Costco all sell different copycat bars that are often sold out. Trader Joe's bar launched at the end of May, and it's arguably the cheapest, at just under $4 a piece. There are now hundreds of versions on Amazon too. The Nuts Factory, which claims it was one of the first in New York City to make the bar, has had to hire additional workers and buy more machines to meet demand. They implemented a 1-bar limit in summer 2024.
Dubai
They've
birthday
created
cake
other flavors and other desserts. Part of the chocolate bar's immense success is timing. Consumers are increasingly craving new flavors, and Mediterranean stands apart. Pistachios have also soared in popularity in the US in recent years. The country has become the world's largest producer, consumer, and exporter of the nut, which historically came from Iran, Turkey, and Syria. California, where the majority are produced, is expected to see a record-sized crop yield in the 2025-2026 season. The amount of new snacks with pistachios launched globally rose by 63% between 2023 and 2024. The steepest rise was seen in chocolate confectionery, thanks in part to the Dubai chocolate trend. Chocolate pistachio flavor combos on restaurant menus are up significantly over the past year. Plus, Dubai's rise as a premium tourist destination has fueled an association with luxury. The bars are expensive, $18 to $20, depending on where you buy them. The trend has its limitations. Pistachios are some of the most expensive nuts to produce. A global cocoa shortage has been driving chocolate prices up, causing demand to outpace supply. Some ingredients must...
That's the play right there. The play is cocoa futures. Could you get in with Lindt? Yeah, but the UAE is 2% of its global sales. Not going to be a needle mover. And not that they only sell in the UAE still. I'm not sure it would become big enough. But there are ETFs that track cocoa futures, and that could be a play. There's also ETFs that follow Dubai companies. Yeah, so cocoa futures is up 150% year to date, I think, because of supply shortages. Let me see if I can find this. It's only going to get worse. How old is this video? It's May 28th. This video is a day old. I think this is an opportunity, guys. I might do this with my kids' Roth. Check it out. Cocoa futures, sheesh, came crashing down. What's going on here? It's bearish. Why'd it come crashing down? Oh, yeah, it's at the bottom. It's at the bottom. It's oversold right now. It's seen in the last week, it's dropped quite a bit. Let's see why. Dipped in the last week. I like it though. Yeah, so the impact is likely too small for major players. What about cocoa futures? I feel like this is only going to make it worse if it's already seeing a All right, so check it out. I'm using DeepSeek here because DeepSeek is so smart, bro. It's got that like it learns on its own. It's pretty impressive. So if I look at DeepSeek, it says cocoa futures have dipped 15% over the past week after a parabolic 150% rally earlier this year. The pullback stems from a convergence of technical fundamental sentiment-driven factors, of course. Cocoa prices surged, it surged 150%. I missed that. But I don't think it's too late. We have to watch this. So it says part of it, so it broke $9,000 a ton, accelerating the sell-off towards 7,500. That's crazy. It went up to 9,000. But it says that improved West African supply signals. Okay, that's good. Demand destruction acceleration. Chocolate makers slashing usage. World's largest processor confirms substituting cocoa with cheaper ingredients. Hell no. And then Hershey's and Mondelez, they raised product prices by 15%, suppressing consumer demand. But I think that this right here, if it continues the way I think it is, I feel like it's just getting started. Or am I crazy here? Is this just getting started? It's about to add more pressure. The US dollar strengthened. Hedge funds reduce long positions. Broader commodity sell-off. Policy interventions. And so cocoa could head next. 40% probability that it's going to go to 6,500. Stabilization, they think it's going to be 7,000 to 8,000. Bullish reversal, over 9,000. So check it out. In the short term, volatility will stay elevated. Avoid catching the falling knife. In the long term, use dips to build positions. Okay, so this is the ETF for cocoa futures, IPATH Cocoa ETN. I'm going to write that down. And right now, it's trading from $35 to $40 a share. And they're saying that we should wait for stabilization at the 7,000 support. Key risk: weather remains the wild card. A dry June in Ivory West could reignite the bull run. Yeah, not just that, but like I said, this trend is major. I'm telling you, I've never seen chocolate stores that sell this shit so busy, bro. And they're selling these things for $25 a bar. It's insane. You guys see they're reselling them for $100 a bar. You know where I like to do this? What I like to do when it comes to these social trends, I like to head over to Dumb Money's Discord and just search real quick. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. And just search real quick. If I go to Dumb Money and I'm just gonna search, this is their Discord, Dubai chocolate. Let's see what people are saying. Look, they was on it 3 days ago. They was on it 3 days ago. Look, shortages everywhere. So overturned the pistachio market in the past months. You can't find it anywhere. It has prices 40. Look, they're going crazy about it. I'll be playing TRC. I don't know what the hell that means. This craze is already dying by the time Costco gets a bar. Not to mention everyone I know hates it. And what? What are you smoking? Everyone I know loves it. Yeah, like it's social arbitrage. He made 400% on Saratoga water trade. That's just options though. Yeah, what the fuck is your point? You can make that on any random country. This guy is trolling. That was just dumb. Is there anything else? Let me see. What is it? Is it stock ticker nib? Let me make sure that's the actual stock ticker that you can actually trade. Let me see. Cause these guys, man, I don't know why they be acting like that. Maybe not. Maybe you can't trade nib. Yeah, it's. Let me see. iPad. Coco. ETN. Huh, maybe not. Nah. There's no U.S. ones. There's no U.S. ones. There's a European alternative. Both of those were closed. So the iPad Coco one, the one that tracks the futures, and there was another one. Both of those closed. So you have European alternatives. Let's see. There's this Wisdom Tree, which is a European one. Hmm. All right, on to the next topic. There's nothing amazing, nothing in reach. But if you're ambitious enough about that trade, you're gonna find a way. You're gonna find a way. I guess Dell is ripping. Oh, stock market's closed. All right, let's see if I got into all the trades that I wanted to get into. And it looks like I did. And it looks like I'm getting cooked. Look at Hims. Look at Hood. Down 32%, down 20. This could be up 80% tomorrow. It's crazy how this works. So I'm in Hims. I'm in Hood. I'm in Palantir. I'm in SoFi. I'm in Tesla. And am I overextended? Whoops. Can't tell on here. Here we go. Let's see how I'm looking here. And it looks like I'm good. Net house surplus, I'm good. I'm Gucci. I don't have no problems. But I'm gonna leave that there, have a little bit of a buffer, unless there's something screaming at me. You know what I mean? Like, Chris, that's the move. That's the move. But I'm loving where I'm at. So Look, and for those of you guys that don't know, this is my deposits. $23,000. 23,000, yeah. And my balance is 43. I'm up 38% year to date so far. I don't know how that number is not higher. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm gonna get out. I'm done live streaming. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll probably drop. I'm gonna drop the daily recap video, daily update video tonight. So look out for that. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good one.